Hello everyone. In today's session, we are going to see nested class in Java. First, we'll see the definition of nested class. So, what is the nested class? A class defined inside another class is called nested class. Now, you can see example here. Class A is outer class, and inside that class another class is given, class B. Okay, so here this class B is called as a nested class because it is defined inside another class. Means B is defined inside the class A. That's why it is called as a nested class. For nested class, there are two types. First is static nested class, and second non-static nested class. So now we'll see the static nested class. Here you can see the example. Class A is given, and inside that another class is given as class B. And before this class B, static keyword is used. Okay, means this is static nested class. So this is property of nested class. When you want to give the nested class as a static, at that time you are supposed to write the static keyword before this class and name of the class. You will write the keyword as a static. Next property of static nested class is you don't need an object of outer class to create static nested class object. So what is meaning of this line? You can take this example. In this example, one outer class is given. Within this outer class, data is given as static int data is equal to 50. Okay, so before this variable name, static keyword is given. Also, you can see that before this class and class name, static keyword is given. Means this is a static nested class. Okay, now when we want to create object for this inner class, at that time it is not required to create object of outer class. Means directly we can give the name of the outer class dot name of the inner class. After that space and this object name. You can give any object name as per your choice. I have given name as obj is equal to new outer dot inner. And again, by using this object, show method is called. Okay, and show method contains a set statement which is used to display the value of data variable. When you want to create object of inner class, at that time simply you have to use this syntax: outer class name dot inner class name. After that, name of the object is equal to new space. After that, outer class dot inner class constructor. This is the syntax to create object of static nested class. Again, the property is given as it can access only static members of outer class. So in this example, for the outer class, the static member is taken as data variable. This is the static. It means that this static inner class can access this data variable. If you execute this program, you will get output as data from outer colon 50. This will be the output. Means from this example, we learned that by using static class, you can access the static members of the outer class. Now we will see the non-static nested class. So what is the property of non-static nested class? First property is there will not be static keyword for non-static nested class. Here is example of non-static nested class. Shows that class outer, inside that outer class, inner class is taken. Okay, means the class having name as a inner. Before this class, I have not written the keyword as a static. It means that this is non-static nested class. It can now next property is it can access static, non-static, and private members of outer class. So within this example, you can see outer class have three types of variables. First variable having data type as integer and it is a non-static. Second variable is a number and it is a private. As before this initialization of this variable, we have given keyword as a private. That's why this variable name becomes a private. Now before this string message, again the keyword is given as a static. It means that this is a static data member for the outer class. A feature of non-static nested class is that it can access the non-static data, private data as well as static data. So we'll see this by using the example. Now inside this inner class, display method is used to print the value for the number variable, message and num variable, which are having the which are having a private, static or non-static data. Now next property for non-static nested class is it needs to create object of outer class first to create object of non-static nested class. It means that if you want to create the object of inner class, you need to follow the three steps. So first step is first you need to create the object of outer class. For that purpose, we have written class name as outer. After that, object name is equal to new outer. So second step is to create object for inner class. So to create object of inner class, the syntax is you have to write outer class name dot inner class name. After that, object for the inner class is equal to object of outer class dot new inner. So here this outer is object of this outer class. Okay. It starts with capital O means this is a class name and when we use the small o it is a object name. Once you create object of inner class you can call the display method. So inner dot display is used. Okay, means within display method it will print value of number, message and num. So output for this program will be the number is 42, message hello from outer and num value is 100. so which are given here in this program. Okay, so in this way we have studied static and non-static nested class. Thank you.